and welcome to another Isolationist Network video. This is Wackeroni. Oh, for fuck's sake. Of course I'd fuck it up. Fuck it, I'm keeping it in. Hello and welcome to another Isolationist Network video. This is an interview with Wackeroni. That's the name of your channel. Like, it's not, there's nothing after it before it, right? It's just Wackeroni.
Yeah, W-A-C-K-E-R. O-N-I.
Oh my god, this is the massive fuck up of the century.
It's not Wackerino, it's Wackeroni.
I'll put a link in the description of the video when it gets uploaded anyways. Right, so the first question is, so when you were a young lad, what made you want to put your dick in the fridge and slam the door closed?
Well, I didn't realize it was going to be that kind of interview, but since you asked, I was a frustrated young man, didn't really know anything about myself, my body, my feelings. And so I just started slamming myself into things.
Was there other things other than the fridge, or was it just fridges?
Oh yeah, I remember we had like an unfinished basement, like a cement floor, and we'd like, as little kids, we'd go roller skating down there. But when no one was around, I was roller skating, and sometimes I'd just sort of slam my Peter into the pole, one of the supporting poles of the house, and I would just do that stuff sometimes.
I kind of keep my laughing. I
didn't know this is where we were going with the interview, but let's go.
Anything's on topic.
Are you sure we're recording right now?
Yes, it's recording.
Alright, well,
This isn't for my own amusement, I promise you. So when you first started YouTube, did you expect to get as many followers as you did, or were you just doing it for fun?
The YouTube channel I have right now is just for fun. And I like to make things. I like to have projects. I like to edit videos, and it's mostly just for my friends and family, whoever feels like watching. I don't have any prospects of being big on YouTube. I just enjoy making stuff for people that want to see stuff, I guess.
Well, that's nice, but I'd imagine your family would click straight off it.
Probably. Well, actually, no, that's not true. A lot of my family, well, like I said, I make it so some of them can see it, and they're all pretty happy. Like I like showing them stuff I've created, like movie reviews and goofy stuff that I edit. Like I like showing it to them.
The next question I have for you, Wack, is so when you started out on YouTube, did you ever think you'd end up on a T-shirt with the slogan "Wax a Dick"?
I didn't think it would be that specific. I'm not surprised that I would end up on T-shirts. Well, maybe not my face. Maybe like artwork I expected to be on T-shirts, but not really like me. But I'm cool with it. Hey, if people want to have some weird memorabilia, that's fine with me.
I love my Wax a Dick T-shirt.
I'm wearing it right now, honestly.
So when are you doing your next live stream?
Probably never. I was doing live streams for almost every day for a while.
It takes a lot out of you, doesn't it?
Well, it's not that it takes a lot out of me. It's just like that was the only thing I had going on, and I was able, when you're doing a live stream, you're able to connect with an audience. You're able to make friends, depending on how you're doing it. And I really just wanted to, I just wanted to have like a party, like party at Wax Place. Let's all hang out and talk and be silly together. And yeah, I ended up making a bunch of friends, and now I don't feel like doing it anymore.
Let me whip up your channel. So your reactions, how did they come about? Did you just think of that on the spot one day, or did you just know you wanted to do them?
Well, part of the movie review, like I do longer form spoiling movie reviews, but I realized while I was doing that, like I like to watch people that do reviews of things to know if I want to see it or not. Maybe I've seen it already and I want to see other people talk about it because I enjoy that, or maybe I haven't seen it and I still want to hear other people talk about it. Maybe it makes me want to see it, and so I started doing different types of reviews of movies because I really love movies and I love talking about them. I think I'm doing a service in a certain way to tell people whether or not this a movie I saw might be good or might not be. Like, it's just my opinion, but letting people know, like, maybe you could check it out, maybe not. I feel like that helps me watch a bunch of stuff that I didn't think I'd ever watch.
Nice. So you're a big Dragon Ball fan. So my next question is, when did you start getting into your Dragon Ball collection? Like, when did you start collecting your figurines?
I think I started watching it in like middle school, junior high, and I think that's also when I started collecting. I started getting sort of obsessed because like I wanted something that did, like, not everybody was talking about at my school, like this could sort of be my own thing. So I started watching it because it was different, and then I got obsessed with it, and I think that's when I started collecting. And it was like the old school figures, like really old clamshell figures, I guess they'd call them. And so I have like a ton of those old ones, and still collecting. I don't know, 15 years later, I still, maybe even 20 years, I still.
Damn.
It's not that I still enjoy it. It's that's part of an addiction I have now.
Also, it's collecting the fucking Dragon Ball figures is just an addiction.
Yeah. I mean, I still love it. I'm glad that they're making stuff, but I'm also worried because I thought it was over a while back, and I'm worried they're gonna like ruin it somehow. But I'm still happy that it exists, and a new generation of kids can enjoy it. I think that's cool. And maybe they'll do like me. Maybe they'll watch the new stuff and then go back and, learn the history. That's what I did.
I do need to go back to Dragon Ball Z. I'm on episode... I don't remember the episode, but I'm on the Android Saga. And my next question is, so I'm looking through your videos right now, and I'm seeing the video where you got the statue that I got you for Christmas, and then the Dragon Ball drinks. Did you ever open one of those Dragon Ball drinks and try them, or no?
I did, actually. My boss bought me one of them, and I was like, oh, this is a cool little keepsake, a neat little thing. And then he's like, I found more of the same one. And he gave me like 4 of them, and I was like, I don't need 4 of them. So I was like, I'm going to try it out. And you know what? It tastes like a blue Jolly Rancher.
I was going to ask you what it tasted like, but yeah, that's pretty cool, man.
It's called like Spirit Bomb energy drink with Goku on the front, and yeah, it
was an energy drink. I wasn't sure what it was.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool, man. So, other than Dragon Ball, are you into any other animes or anything like that?
I used to be into a lot of different animes. I used to watch Toonami and Adult Swim, and I would watch all the Gundams and the Inuyashas and the Triguns and Outlaw Stars and like all different kinds of stuff. And I only picked a few that I sort of really enjoyed. And these days, I feel like I'm old enough. I'm 36 right now. I feel like I'm old enough where I already picked the ones I like. I don't really feel like watching a bunch of new stuff. I'm still open to it, but it might take me a minute to get into it.
So I'm seeing a lot of the Marvel Cinematic Universe movie reviews on your channel here, and I was wondering, what is your favorite movie review you've done on your channel, and which movie review are you also looking forward to doing from the Marvel Universe?
That's a pretty good question. I think there's a couple of my favorites from the reviews that I've done, and it's usually when I like dress up or do a character or something. Even though it's a huge pain in the ass for me to like dress up and try to be a character for like an hour while I'm recording. The Mortal Kombat, the old 90s Mortal Kombat review I did, I think that was a really fun one. I think that's one of my favorites. I'm sort of doing like a Keanu Reeves, like fake surfer, like karate dude, like, hey y'all, that's right, I'm the Mortal Kombat man, like that. I was doing a really horrible accent, but I was dressed up like a karate dude with a wig on. I think that one's pretty fun. I'm actually getting ready to do the Doctor Strange movie. The MCU Doctor Strange, the first one, and my mom's actually helping me work on a costume. Usually I don't do like, it's basically just things I find around the house just to make costumes out of, and just paint on a beard with a marker or something. But I don't know how to make like a big collar for a cape, so she's got some cheap fabric and she's gonna help me make a cape. So I'm gonna do a Doctor Strange review with a painted on beard.
Nice. So, I was wondering, you've seen the John Wick movies, right?
Mm-hmm.
What did you think about them doing part 1 and then they made a sequel which was a lead up to part 3 and then part 3 being a lead up to part 4?
I feel like for that movie, you could have just had one. I feel like one standalone movie would have worked. I still think it's cool. Like, I'm kind of glad that they made more. I think the third one had a lot of really good, crazy action. Like, really interesting, unique action stuff and kills. Like, I can't say any specifics without spoiling.
It's fine if you spoil.
There's a lot of really cool stuff in those. I think that's cool. I don't really care at this point. Like, they could just make those movies forever. I'll probably watch them. As long as they keep the action, interesting, I'll probably watch them. I
didn't like the two. Well, I liked the sequels, but I liked the first one the best of the three.
Yeah, the first one was really cool. I liked the third one a lot because it was more like, instead of just straightforward assassin dude kills, it was more unique with the kills, basically. And I like that they got really interesting and original with the way that he's able to kill people.
So, like, I was looking at your channel there, and I was wondering, and I seen you played I Am Bread, and I was wondering how you discovered that game.
Well, I saw that it was like a really frustrating game for people. It was like one of those rage games, and I was like, "You're a piece of bread. That seems interesting. I want to see how frustrating this is." And I played it, and I actually really, really enjoy it. Not on a rage live stream guy level, but like, I just love being a tiny inanimate object in a giant world. I think that's so fun. And just to be a piece of bread just trying to live in a giant world, it seems really interesting to me.
So, right, continuing with the I Am Bread theme, have you played any other stupid games like Goat Simulator or anything like that?
I played a little bit of Goat Simulator.
It's so fun.
It's a little too weird for me.
What are you on about? It kept me entertained for like 2 hours once.
Well, no, I know it's very entertaining, but the whole like the floppiness of the character, like those games are really weird to me.
Have you played any of the Goat Simulator DLCs?
No.
Oh my god, they're fun.
What happens in those?
There's a Payday parody one. There's a one where you're in space, and I don't remember the other one. There's a RPG one and a zombie apocalypse one as well.
What do you do? Just stick your floppy goat legs on and flop them around?
Well, the funny thing with the zombie one, you can either start out as a normal non-dead goat, or you can start out as a zombie goat.
The goat is a zombie.
And you can infect other people with like this green musk.
That sounds interesting.
It was kind of funny. It's on my stream, I think.
Is this green musk the same type of thing you spread to people when you go out into the world?
Fuck you.
You smelly bitch.
That's you. You're talking about yourself there, you bastard.
I am. I'm looking in a mirror right now.
So I see you played a lot of Broforce on your channel.
Hell yeah.
Acting like I don't know you. So what got you into Broforce?
Oh, actually, I bought the. I don't know how I found it. I think I saw somebody do like a review of it, but it was the Expendables. It was like a promotional thing for the movie Expendables 3 or something, and it was Expendabros, and it was a free, smaller version of Broforce. And so I played that, and I was like, "This is really cool. It's old-fashioned. It's like 16-bit Super Nintendo style kind of thing, like crazy action stuff." And I found out that there was a full version of the game, and I got it when that was on sale for like $2 to $6. I don't remember, and I love it. I love the game. I played it over and over many times. I love the old school nature of it. I like the side-scrolling action. I love that you can destroy the landscape. I love that there's always like new characters based on movie characters. I love it.
Alright, so I know you're a big Zelda fan. I don't know why I said van.
I'm a big Zelda man.
You're a big Zelda man. So, yeah, you're a big Zelda fan. How did you get into that series, and do you know which one is your favorite of that series?
When I was a really little kid, I played the original, like the very first NES Zelda, and I was terrible at it. So basically I knew the name of the game, and I knew that I wasn't very good at it, but it was still like a little bit nostalgic for me just thinking about it. And then when they came out with Ocarina of Time on the N64, I was like, I want to see what this has to offer. And that basically became my favorite game until a few Zelda games later, where I found Skyward Sword. And this might be a controversial opinion, but I think Skyward Sword is highly underappreciated. I think it is an amazing game, and it speaks to me in a different kind of way. I don't really know how to explain the rest of that. I've played many of the big world Zelda games, and I think Ocarina and Skyward Sword are probably my favorites out of all.
So I know you're not much of a gamer, but if you did have to pick from the systems you've played, which would be your favorite system that you played?
I think I might say GameCube, possibly, because that's where like they had Smash Bros. Melee, and that was like, to me, that's like the best Smash Bros. I think. Maybe N64 is my favorite, because like that was when graphics started getting better. Like I played the NWO versus WCW or whatever it was, and it had like Wave Race and Zelda and Mario 64, and it was just like, it felt like a big new era of gaming was coming. I think N64 should be my answer.
So my next question to you is, so you mentioned that you played NWO versus WCW there.
Yep.
Are you a fan of wrestling, or were a fan of wrestling? And if so, who is your favorite wrestler from when you used to watch it?
I watched it when I was younger. I don't really know what age I was, but it was older back when it was WCW and WWF before they switched everything. I don't know if I had a favorite wrestler back then. Maybe back in those days I probably would have said like Undertaker. And then
Good choice.
Many years later, I started watching it again when like Goldberg and the NWO and Hollywood Hogan and Sting and those people were there. And at that point, I think I liked Goldberg. Maybe because he was the new guy, and they were, filling him up to be like this really cool,
unstoppable monster.
Yeah, I was all excited for him. Like, he seemed like a new, exciting character, and I was all about Goldberg during that part. And then they brought back like Ultimate Warrior, and I saw interesting things happening. And I sort of dropped off a little bit after that. I don't really watch it anymore.
So you're a fan of beer, right? So, and liquor and whatnot. Do you have a favorite beer that you like to drink specifically, or do you just drink any beer you can get your hands on?
I like cheap beer, and I'll give you specific reasons why. I like cheap beer that doesn't taste like much. I was drinking Milwaukee's Best Light for a very long time because it's pretty cheap, and I can buy a lot of it for pretty cheap. And you know why I drink a lot of very light beer? Would you like to know why?
Yes, sir.
Well, because I can have myself a nice time for a long period of time. I have a pretty good tolerance for beer, and I like to be able to work on projects, whether it be like artwork or editing video or something. I like to be, capable for as long as I can, but also still be having fun. Like, I'm not going to get drunk real quick, I like the buzz, I like feeling the drunkenness, but I want that to be later in the evening. I want to slowly, gradually work up to the fun, while also being able to be productive.
Good answer. I like that answer. So I have another question, obviously. So I've heard this. You've told me the story about the time you got busted by the cops for having an empty bag of weed. I was wondering if you would want to tell that story on this interview or not. You don't have to. We can cut this part out if you don't want to.
I don't mind talking about it.
Well, go ahead, sir. Tell us the story.
I live in Kansas, and it is illegal to have certain things. And on St. Patrick's Day, I went to a party, and I brought some weed with me. and we smoked it at the party, and I left, and I was walking to my car, and there wasn't anything left in the bag that I brought it in. And when I was stopped, they were like, "We heard there was some suspicious activity around here. Do you know anything about that?" said the police. And I was like, "No, I don't know anything about that. I'm just walking to my car." And they were like, "Do you mind if we pat you down and ask you some questions?" And I was like, "Nah, I guess that's fine." And they're like, "Do you have any weapons or drugs on you?" And I, being a stupid person, as a young man, was like, "I have an empty bag in my pocket that used to have weed in it," which is not what you're supposed to say to the cops. And by the way, as a public service announcement, you don't have to say okay to that stuff. Like, you can basically say, "Am I in trouble? Am I free to go?" And you don't have to answer those questions and let them do whatever. But I was a stupid idiot, and I ended up going to jail because they didn't even have a choice at that point. I basically admitted to having an illegal substance on me, sort of. That started a weird bunch of time where I was in trouble and went to in and out of court and diversion and probation and house arrest and all kinds of crazy stuff. So know your rights, people.
Would you like to tell the folks how much percent of the weed they found in the bag?
0.04 milligrams were found in the bag.
That's pretty crazy that they still arrested you for that much.
Yeah.
It's not even a joint's worth.
No.
I don't even think you could put that in a fucking brownie or any bakeable thing. You
can put it in there, but you're not
gonna get high.
Notice anything. No, the fact that they had to send it to a scientist lab to find out that there was something in it is pretty ridiculous. Like, what a waste of resources. But it taught me a lesson, you know.
Don't talk to cops.
Don't be stupid. Don't say things you don't need to say.
So, you're a pretty big movie fan, yeah? And my next question is about movies. So, what's your favorite retro movie that you didn't like a remake of?
The Thing is the first thing that comes to mind. There was the Kurt Russell The Thing. I don't remember exactly when it came out, and I just watched it like the last, maybe a few years ago. I really like it. A lot of practical effects, and the remake. Well, okay, this wasn't. I guess that is technically a remake. I think there was like an old black and white The Thing. I'm not really sure, but then they did like a prequel in the later years that it relied too heavily on like CGI, computer graphics, images, and crazy stuff. It didn't look good. It didn't feel good. I like practical effects. I like physical practical effects, and the new one was just too reliant on the new technology.
So, Wackeroni, you work at a pizza place, yes?
Hell yes.
So what is the weirdest request of a pizza you've ever had from a customer?
Oh God, let me look it up on my phone. I think I still have the image. It was the grossest, weirdest thing I've ever seen.
That just sprung to mind, by the way. I had no idea. I had no plans to ask that. It just sprung to mind.
Black olive, mushroom, onion, tomato, red onion, pineapple, mozzarella, chicken, beef, anchovies, blue cheese, cheddar cheese, barbecue sauce.
Sounds worse than the hot dog crust pizza I got.
Yeah. And the dude that ordered it didn't even show up in time to get it. He showed up like an hour and a half after we were already closed. And then he came back the next day and ordered something very similar, but slightly different with like sauerkraut and shit on it. And I was like, what are you doing? Have you never ordered a pizza before? Do you know what these things taste like?
Maybe it was me.
Yeah, maybe. That would be that would be something you'd order. Like, you just don't know what's good on a pizza.
So just add everything to it.
Yeah.
Oh, fucking hell. What else? So the green hoodie from your old reviews. How many episodes was that in on your reviews? Before it got...
I started it out. I called it Under the Green Hood, which was a reference to Under the Red Hood, the Batman storyline or whatever. And so I would just wear this green hoodie while I did the review thing.
How many episodes did it last until the green hood got hung up on the shelf?
I don't know, like 10. I probably did like 10 maybe, and then I decided like I'm gonna hang this up and I'm gonna start again. So then I started calling it spoiling movies. And I actually got comments that was like, "You shouldn't spoil movies. That's bad." It's like, you're an idiot. Like this, that's just the title. And like I actually had like a back and forth comment debate with a person that didn't understand that was just the title, and and then I changed it to Whack Reviews, which makes way more sense, I guess.
So I'm looking at your channel and I see that you have reviewed a movie called Mandy, Nicolas Cage, from 2 years ago, and I was wondering what was your thoughts on that movie?
Well, you could watch it for yourself, Jamie. No, I'm just joking. I think it was very ambitious. It was very, it's sort of an indie movie. It was made really well. Nicolas Cage did pretty good Nicolas Cage craziness acting, and it had a lot of ideas. I actually, in the review that I did, I was able to spot so many little things. You might even call them tropes that I've seen in so many other movies. It's almost like they tried to cram like a bunch of crazy ideas into one movie. But one thing that bothers me about that and a lot of movies is how slow it is, how long it takes to get to certain things. Like if I see a scene where you're just closing in on Nicolas Cage's face, for like a couple of minutes, I'm like, can we not move on to the next scene? Like I don't really understand filmmaking. I've never really made a film. I don't know what that entails. But I don't like long periods of time in a movie where nothing happens. Maybe I'm not an artist in that way, but I don't know. Some people like that stuff.
So you make a lot of art, or you used to make a lot of art and whatnot. Do you know what your favorite art you ever drew was? Like your favorite piece of art you made?
Yeah, it's the one that's on my page as the banner, the Alice in Wonderland thing. I spent a year creating that, just in my free time. I wasn't like intensely working on it or anything. But there is an Alice in Wonderland thing. The Mad Hatter and the Cheshire Cat are like the main focus of the picture. And I had just watched the Tim Burton Alice in Wonderland, and I was like, okay, so Alice in Wonderland can be a weird, creepy thing. And I like dark, creepy things, so I started working on that. And just pencil on paper for like a year, I was just sort of creating this thing. I don't even know what size the paper was I was drawing it on, like 11 by 18 or something weird. And yeah, so that one. That's the one. That's my grand finale. I don't think I'll make anything better than that.
So, Mr. Wackeroni, I have one final question for you, sir. From everything you know now, like everything you've learned from doing YouTube videos and whatnot, and if you were put back in time and had to start from the beginning, from the year you started, and you had all the knowledge you have now, would you do anything differently, or no?
Not for this channel. Not for the one that I have right now. No. It's for fun, not for profit. It keeps me busy. I can make new projects. I can make new things. I don't feel like I should do anything different. But if I were to say something to other people who were starting from like nobody knowing them, I would say like start from that. Start from things that you enjoy, and make it something that you enjoy doing. If you enjoy making videos, if you enjoy making content, if you make any kind of art, do any type of entertainment, just put that out there. And it's not about the numbers of subscribers or anything. It's about if people actually enjoy or care about what you're doing. So if you're starting from scratch, then those people that are following you from the beginning are people that actually enjoy what you do. Like sometimes, like me and other YouTubers will get a new subscription. Like, oh, the number went up. We got a new person. How long are they going to stick around? I don't know. I don't know if they really enjoy what I'm doing. So really just enjoy what you're doing. And I don't even know if I'm answering your question right now.
Yeah, you are.
But yeah, just enjoy it, and if you're getting people from doing what you enjoy, then that means they're also enjoying it, and that's a good thing.
Or I know I said that was the last question, but I thought of two more since then. So one of the last two questions is: so you've done a couple of movie talks with people. What was your favorite movie talk, and who was it with? Like, I know you've done one with Chakra, and I'm seeing one that you did a movie talk with Googs about Ready Player One Easter eggs.
That was cool. I think the one I did with Chakra about Dick Tracy might be my favorite. I'm not really sure, but like I have a good rapport with Chakra Zoo, and like we were it felt natural, even though I haven't seen Dick Tracy in many years, probably since I was a little kid. But I rewatched it for that talk, and I thought that was interesting.
And for my last question, I would like to, if you don't mind, would you give us one more story for as the last part of this interview? One more crazy whack story. Anyone can do. Anyone will do.
Well, when I was 18-ish, I was leaving my Christian school, my Christian high school, and my girlfriend at the time was driving, and we got T-boned by an 18-wheel semi-truck, and we both could have died, but we didn't. She was unconscious for moments, which freaked me out. I lost my breath after the truck hit us, and we were both taken to the hospital. All that happened to her was a mild concussion. All that happened to me was a scar on my thumb. I broke a bone in my thumb. I think because I was like grabbing on to the front of the car so freaked outedly that I broke something. And turns out we're all fine. And I guess that's the story.
Well, thank you for letting me interview you, sir. This has been a great, weird, wonderful questions. If you had to rate the interview out of 5, what would you rate it as?
10 out of 10. 100 out of 10. How about that?
I fucking love you, Whack. Thank you all for listening to this. Anyways, folks, thank you all for watching whenever this goes up, if you do watch it. If you're new, subscribe to my channel and also Wackeroni's channel. Like the video and leave a comment. Let us know what you thought of the interview. Bye bye for now.